Welcome to a Grail auction. We have some exciting art to auction off tonight and two artists, Libby and Michael from Blanc. It's going to be exciting to hear their story, what they're all about, and some of the art they have to share, and some of their past collections that they are selling as prints and kind of their transition into the NFT digital art world. So as always, if you have any questions, put those in chat, and people on the Grail team will help you out with auctions, connecting to MetaMask, or any questions you may have. You can connect and have the security deposit go in, and then from there, have your bids be placed off chain. So Michael and Libby, thank you so much for joining. And thanks for staying up late for us. They're over in the UK.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. Yeah, super excited to be here and ask anyone's questions if they have any about the artwork, about us, about Blanc, about how it started or anything. So yeah, we're happy to be here, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we have some aspiring artists in the chat.
Yeah, I hope so. It'd be good to give some feedback, advice to people as well about it as well.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it's such a new thing that like people that are getting into it, it's a good opportunity to have a go and try something and find a new hobby and make a career out of it that you can do now.
Yeah, so we're going to get to the three pieces in a second, but I kind of want to start with, when I was looking on your site, I see there's some prints you can buy through a variety of retailers in the past. Your site, what was kind of the inspiration or what got you to take the leap into NFTs?
Leap into NFTs. I mean, two people actually approached us when we were working. Initially, it was about a bigger collection at the time, but they were more into it. They've been at about a year. This was gone September in 2021. And we were kind of like, we were umming and ahhing. We didn't really necessarily have enough time or know how to kind of jump into it. So we met up for a coffee in London, and they were from Spain, and we were talking about doing a collection and everything anyway. So we emailed around and wondered what kind of stuff we can do, how we can kind of get our followers involved. Anyway, we came up with this concept of it's a colourful life kind of collection, and the whole kind of message behind this NFT kind of collection was to live a colourful life, and it was almost replicating our story of being an artist and leaving our jobs and doing this full time, and we wanted to replicate that into an NFT collection. So each of these pieces, they have, you will see like in our prints, they're interiors and exteriors, whereas in this collection they're houses, and they're kind of like more maximalist, kind of like we've pretty much gone all out in these NFTs to kind of sum up Blanc as a business, as a brand. And
I think these ones, they've like taken a twist on our original style of art. So we've always done interiors, we've always tried with exteriors, and our main focus has always been color. But with these, they're much more digital focused. Like when you look at them, they're much more graphic. Like for example, the outlines are much more dark, so it's really vibrant. All the colors contrast against each other, and there's a lot of work around color theory as well. So the main point of our NFTs and of us as a brand is that when someone looks at our artwork, it always has a story, and the story to that person, who no matter who's looking at it, is quite different dependent on the person that's looking at it. So I'd say that
everyone relates to it in a different way. That's why we say about the relatability aspects that we have. Everyone kind of finds relatability in all, not just NFTs, but all our prints as well. They have each, so we have so many of them, and every single one has a story behind them. I could be here forever just literally talking about how one of them's made or whatever. It's just like, it's mental how each one's done and everything, and how it's panned out. But you know, it's all good. It's all good.
Awesome. I'm trying to share these, what you're talking about, with the audience right now.
Sure.
I think they should pop up soon. Here we go. Yeah, so this is a little more about what Michael and Libby are talking about, all the colors and the artwork. And it struck me that these are they're not kind of similar, but it's all the same style in each of your collections.
Yeah, that's right, man. I mean,
Definitely.
Lib, I mean, these three, I can't remember who I think it might have been Eric that sent these three. These are my personal three favorites, hands down. They're like, I don't know what it is. So I was like, maybe it's a guy's kind of spin on it. I don't know. But yeah, they're really, really cool.
I think so. These three, they're all part of a bigger collection. So
Mhm.
originally we did a 10-piece small collection where, again, it's all about a colourful life. So we did 10 different rooms or different areas of a home, and each print has like different small details in it. So when you're looking at it, and you can take it in as a whole, but you can start to look at certain sections, and there's details that sort of create a story around who this person might be that lives here, or like what might have gone on in there, or like what this person's interests might be. So for example, we've got the retro cars in the garage. In the living room, I wanted to create something that felt like it was lived in. So there's like a spilt cup of tea and some shoes that are like a bit off skew. So it's like someone's just kind of kicked them off. So it kind of gives that person like a relaxed feeling.
And the Jordans too.
Yeah, they're Jordans. So there's a lot of
Real
like
Jordans.
societal trends in there as well. We try to relate to people in terms of what they're seeing in trends in society as well. So there's quite everything within the print is very thought out. Like there's nothing that isn't there that hasn't been thought of, if that makes sense.
That's a good way to describe it. Yeah, I definitely like this first one. It's a Colorful Life the best, I think, out of the three. I can see a car collector really liking the garage one as well. And the garden's cool. I mean, there's so much color. I love color. I mean, you can see my background, it's just a bunch of nonsense. So this is I don't have a lot of art NFTs, but this stuff really stuck out to me, and I'm happy you guys are joining us.
Thank you. The last one, the one that you're saying you're really drawn to, is actually that was the final piece. So we'd been focusing on these one.
It wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, sorry, of the top one. Sorry, I thought you meant the garden.
We've been focusing on like loads of different areas of the home. And then finally we did like the outside. So all these pieces are like interlinked. So in some of them you can see like through a window which relates to the courtyard, which was a previous piece. So this one has elements, the top one has elements of all the 10 pieces that we'd previously done. So it has the garage, in the windows it has all the other prints, like all the other pieces that we'd done. So this one's special because it's kind of, I believe it's 5 of the 10 within one piece, if that makes sense.
How hard was it to keep track of like the colors and the different pieces of the house, if any of them overlaps?
You know what? Funnily enough, that never was like a thing that
do you mean in terms of like similarity,
yeah,
so they didn't look too similar?
Yeah, so the design was always for me it was always like each piece would always have its own personal style, so I wasn't really thought of in that sense. But with the color palette, I definitely feel like we had like a strong color palette theme going on at that point, so I always just used the like similar tones, but it was okay if it wasn't perfect and matched. Like I feel like that's a theme with us, like we're not particularly bothered about lines being straight or like something being a bit more sketchy. I think that's okay. I think that makes the piece more interesting.
Definitely. And Scott and Eric in the comments, thanks for joining. Eric says the first one reminds me of the San Francisco Painted Ladies, if either of you are familiar with that.
Amazing.
No, I'm intrigued though.
Yeah, I am not familiar with that as well. I've never visited San Francisco. So Eric, if you could add some context in the chat, that'd be helpful, I think, for all of us. So we're approaching the end of this first one, 34 seconds left as we speak, and 0.15 is the current bid. I noticed some of these have sold. I think one even sold for like 0.7.
Yeah.
So congratulations in the past for that sale.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you.
we have a collector that kind of I mean, we sent him a message and whatever to come join, and he he's bought a few of our things actually in the past, and he was really kind of like he understood kind of what we were and what we were about and what we kind of wanted to achieve with these as well. So
he definitely had his own like particular style as
Yeah.
well. Like it was all very colourful, very digital. There was a lot of moving image, but then also a lot of still as well. Because I think when we joined, moving image became like animation became really popular. But he was still really into sort of flat lay image, which was nice.
The first one went for 0.15. We got
Cool.
4 minutes on this next one. As that one's auctioned off, I wanted to show the audience some of the other work that you've done.
Sure.
Definitely.
By the way.
There's a lot to go through.
Yeah, there is.
So I wanted to just, this is, I think my screen is coming up in a second. We're going to show their prints page. So I'm trying to enunciate this question. So the NFTs obviously aren't going to be you're not going to reprint those and sell them.
No.
But would you ever make any of these into NFTs down the line if there was demand for
it? I think because we sell these already so much, like they're very out there. We're on a market in London, so they get a lot of footfall, they get seen a lot. Probably not. And I think there's something more special about doing a piece that's completely new and it's completely thought through separately to what you're doing in the business side of things. I think it would feel wrong.
And
I think
if we are talking like simply monetary terms, like the amount of money we'd kind of make from sort of mass selling a print, for example, say South Africa there or Squiggles, compared to an NFT, like if you're just talking purely money, it'd just be worth just kind of doing it in like pure art form rather than NFT. And then it is kind of special to the NFT anyway, and make it kind of like, yes, still Blanc style and Blanc-esque if you like, but not necessarily kind of keeping it in line with the our previous stuff. It's nice to have like a separate branch and a separate kind of like
feels quite separate.
Yeah, it feels like a kind of like a branch coming off it.
And so it's quite like, this is probably a little bit more safe, isn't it, than our NFT work? Like this is still like very interior focused.
It is it is safer.
Yeah, there's all the same features, like there's all the same like level of detail in terms of like storytelling, but you can tell the difference. Like the ones for NFTs are so.
I feel like we stepped it up a game in terms of the NFTs and like in terms of the intricacy, detail, color, time taken, every aspect of doing the NFTs compared to our regular stuff is just 10 times kind of like trickier, if you like.
No, that's, some artists have sold. I've seen some artists, I don't know if they're doing prints or not like you, but you see them drop like 10,000 of the same one. And they're just different strategies. I was curious what you had thought of doing. If there's one, I guess two-part question. What has been the most popular collection? And B, what is your favorite collection that you've made from the prints?
Most popular collection,
so definitely the
classic club collection is got to be hands down that staple. That's what we're known for. That's what people literally come see us for.
Yeah,
most orders, most kind of like
across the board as well, like, and not even just with one like stereotypical customer type. Like I think the special thing about the classic club is it appeals to so many different people. So from like gender based, like boys, girls, whatever, and then to like age as well, definitely.
It's just one that is the most popular for whatever reason. A combination of the collection, a combination of the colours, and they all work together. So yeah, 100% the classic club, and it's because it's got our colours.
What's your favourite collection?
Favorite collection,
That's hard.
I like all of them.
It's such an answer.
I want all of them.
Your favourite would be Chroma.
Mine's I mean, I like abstract art, and it's called the Chroma collection. That's definitely mine because I did those ones, and they're very, I don't know, like for what that club stands for. Anyway, like I don't know. I feel like it's a big relatability, and I always feel like spearheading that club almost.
Yeah. I think it's probably important to mention. So basically, the clubs they represent like different different character types of people in society. So one of our core values as a brand is to give people like societal relevance.
There it goes.
There it goes.
Bidding is open for the last Colourful Garden.
Nice.
Starting at 0.1.
That's a bargain. That is a bargain.
So teleshopping.
Yeah.
This piece is definitely unique. It's kind of the center of the house. That's how I kind of think of it. It's the center of the house, the entire collection.
Yeah, so this one has like how I envisaged it was like almost like a courtyard pool area. So this is where, you know, throw your parties, you get everyone around for your social gatherings. I feel like I definitely throw a party here.
It's my phone background.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man, that one's definitely that's my favorite one.
That was your favorite,
hands down. Yeah, hands down. The colours and like.
I think with this one as well, what made it a little bit different to all the others is we introduced like a reflection. So I'd never really done that before with any of the prints. So it was kind of like paralleled.
Scott says he loves the reflection on the water. That is a very interesting point and a decent part. It's a very like detailed part of the NFT. Was that hard to make in the process of designing the artwork?
So in terms of creating the reflection, basically on Photoshop there's a tool where you can select the area that you're wanting to reflect and almost parallel it. So that in terms of difficult, like it been difficult, it was actually probably one of the easiest parts because the print the side that I wanted to reflect had already been done. So it was just a matter of like making sure that the colors were made to look like a reflection rather than it being like a mirror or like glass. That makes sense.
Tried to zoom in further. We can get a little bit closer. Is the process Procreate and then Photoshop? Is that the technology you're using?
Yeah, so it's all done like Procreate, draw it first, and then a lot of like illustrators used as well, especially in terms of color, and then Photoshop as well. So it's kind of like a 3-stage phase, isn't it?
Yeah.
Adobe must be loving all of the NFT artists out there.
Definitely.
As we zoom in, I mean, the detail is just, you can see are those clouds in the background? Is that wallpaper? And then the pink, the blue, just super cool.
Yeah, so I think this one is probably one of the more like surreal style ones.
It's honestly like, if you know Searlight, there's kind of stuff. It's kind of like, you know, the colors and everything. It's got an influence of that in it. I don't know, man. I just love this piece. It's the colors and the center and the kind of the balance, the dynamics of it, and obviously the night sky with the stars going and everything. Like, yeah, it's just a really cool piece.
Definitely. The one interesting thing is I really, when I was looking at your site earlier, your write-up on NFTs for a new buyer was amazing. It's subjective. It could go up, it could go down. You're kind of banking on us being successful. I wish more FAQs were like that. So if anyone in the chat is looking for one of the best descriptions of NFTs from someone selling it, definitely go check it out.
Dude, I'm glad you like it. We tried to put a kind of straightforward twist on it, just like, yeah, because that's
very confusing.
That's what it is, isn't it?
That's all credit to Michael as well. He's very good at putting points across with that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, if someone likes the artwork, and then obviously the seller kind of places their own value on it, and it's got to match up with what the kind of the buyer perceives to be the value. And you know, it's, again, like you said, though, it's all subjective, isn't it? Like, it really is.
Yeah, it's on some of the more popular stuff, the Squiggles or Damien Hirst stuff. It's like you look back at a month to month, and it's way up, way down. It's
That's how it goes. That's how it goes, man. It's like life, isn't it? That's the up and down, like NFTs.
So as we wind down this, let's see if we get a bid on this.
Yeah, an opening bid. That's okay. You know, I'm kind of glad to keep that.
You'll keep this one.
Yeah.
If it's, people may regret passing up on this down the
Yeah,
line, and you get to keep one of your favorites.
Yeah, that's cool.
So thank you so much for the time, Jared. Thanks for joining as well. This was really fun having artists' perspective and coming on instead of talking, roadmaps, DAOs, tokenomics, all that stuff that some other aspects of the NFT world really enjoys. So I guess if there's one final thought you wanted to leave the audience with, what would that be for your artwork project? Any final thoughts?
It's just that everything just kind of like, I don't know, we kind of enjoy the artwork, really.
Yeah,
That's it. It's very simple. Enjoy the artwork, you buy because you like it. In terms of the brand and the message and everything, I mean, we're continuously moving and kind of we're excited to see where we go. But we're just gonna start doing a collection with clothing and NFTs as well. So merging, we're just going to create a design, and that's going to be an NFT in the future as well for our drop with our campaign.
Yeah,
which, if people wanted to watch it and everything, I mean, that we've got a lot of people keen, aren't they? So
I think it's important to remember as well, like artists are just as kind of new to this whole NFT space as well as people buying. So we're all kind of like learning together.
Everyone's in it together.
Yeah.
So true. You can find them at BLANCX NFT on Twitter. Definitely go give them a follow. You can find all the links to the website, where to buy some prints. And thank you so much for coming on. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Okay. Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for having us, Luke. It's been great talking.
This was fun. And everyone tuning in, thank you for the bids, and congratulations to all of the buyers in your new artwork. We will be back very soon with some exciting NFTs and artwork to auction off here. Thanks for the time, and we'll see you in stream soon.